as an educator, and you'll likely have seen this too, kids carry so much.
Oh
I
man.
worked with so many kids over my career that I hadn't seen half of the stuff that they'd already experienced, you know. And I have lots of friends who are high school educators that tell me that they see increased level of anxiety and depression in their kids. And I knew that for some of my students, their safest place was in the music classroom. And so I really wanted to connect with kids during this unprecedented time, and get them reflecting on music as self-care, and the joy that is available in choral music making, the connection. And the responses I got back, you know, we're so thoughtful, we're so eloquent, we're silly, we're funny, we're goofy, you know. I got everything from, um, I feel like I shine when I sing in choir. And I actually took that passage, I shine, and I made a whole cascading section in their piece saying I shine.
Hmm.
And to, you know, I sing to my mom when she's not feeling well and doesn't want to make supper, you know, like all this stuff that kids come out with, and that's how I help her, you know. And it was just a beautiful experience to hear their thoughts, and realize that I need to get back singing in a choir. You know, I
Hmm.
talk about all the magic that singing with people can give to you, and I'm like, why don't I sing in a choir right now? So if they inspired me to get back to singing when it's possible again.
Right. Right. So through that process, I'm assuming, was that like a series of Zoom meetings? Like how does that during the pandemic, how does this happen?
Yeah, it started out with Zoom meetings, and then I told them what I was going to be asking them, and have them reflect on that, and then I sent them just the written questions, so they, in their own time, with any supports that they wanted to, could write down their answers, send them to the organization, and the organization compiled them, and I've got this gorgeous spreadsheet of all these little thoughts by these beautiful little people that I get to hold on to forever and cherish.
Now, are you slight aside here, but now are you one of those people who really enjoys spreadsheets?
Yes. Charts and
Uh,
graphs. My husband says, "Ooh, charts and graphs." She loves it. Yeah, absolutely.
I can only trust you to a point now because
Hmm.
spreadsheets make me very nervous. I don't
Oh,
know what it
color
is.
coded. Ooh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, there are, I've known people like you before. I've got my eye on you.
We
Uh,
exist. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah. What amazing timing for a project like that too,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
obviously when you took that commission, that wasn't what you had anticipated probably it would be,
No.
but then it turns into this very kind of timely, almost it sounds like many therapeutic opportunities for the kids and maybe even for you
I
during
think
that
so.
time.
Yeah, I think it was definitely therapeutic for me. You know, I selected, as a choral director, as an educator, I selected my repertoire with intention. To I used to call my program character education through music, and and it was important to me what lyrics my kids were singing and what messages they got out of it. And so I hope now, with this piece, and you know, in general, with what I write, that teachers and conductors can find messages in it that can connect with the choral singers, and provide some comfort when needed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I know that I'm just kind of reflecting myself here on that time because my students are in person now again.
Hmm.
But of course, we were completely virtual for 10 months, nine
Wow.
months maybe. Um, and one of the things that I noticed during that time, and of course, this is not an original observation to me. Many people have made this observation, but just the sheer magnitude of the depression and anxiety going on in kids during that time when they were isolated for
Yeah.
that period of time. And I think one of the things that I noticed, at least but from talking to kids during that time, the few that would turn on their cameras and actually talk to me,
Hmm.
um, it was there's this phenomenon that happens like when you're in a classroom, like choir classroom or math classroom, or it doesn't matter what it is, um, and something's hard, something academically is hard. When you're sitting in person with everyone else, you can kind of glance around and notice that this is hard for everybody. Like this is a really tough concept.
Yeah.
But
You can read the room.
when you're by yourself in your own room and staring at the screen and you're seeing something hard,
Mm.
they started to take on this sense of I'm an idiot
Oh,
because because you can't get that feedback, that verbal cue from someone else. They started to assume that they were the only ones who were not getting it,
oh,
because when you sign out of the meeting,
mhm,
they don't see the process that their other kids are going through, the work that it takes to be
mhm.
in school. And when you're that young, my goodness, almost a year off of seeing that. So I have never seen um, so many kids who think they are bad students
Wow,
now, like
wow.
almost to the point where I can see as a teacher, it's going to take a couple of years at least to repair that damage with some kids,
Yeah.
which is remarkable. And so I think it's pretty amazing that you got to be in that situation with kids during that time, because most kids didn't get to have an opportunity like that where they got to feel like they were creating art,
Mhm.
creating something meaningful. And my goodness, that's amazing that you got to do that.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate to connect with a lot of choirs, particularly um, high school age choirs over the last year, and it has deepened my appreciation for what high school music teachers do on a daily basis to what they have done the past year to keep their kids going. And it's been pretty special. I will cherish a lot of the relationships I've built with choirs just over Zoom. Laughing. I got one of the kids asked me last week. I was Skyping with a choir from Texas, and she goes, "Okay, Ms. Q, tacos or burritos?" And just that there's joy and there's fun and these kids can open up and have a good time still as they're connecting with people online. I will cherish these memories.